The strobe lights painted the club patrons in fleeting, grotesque hues, each flash briefly revealing the desperation etched on their faces. He knew that desperation intimately. It was a mirror reflecting his own, a hunger only heroin could temporarily satiate. He'd come seeking oblivion, a few fleeting hours where the world outside, with its disappointments and failures, ceased to exist. He was leaning against a sticky wall, halfway through a nod, when she stumbled into him. A girl, maybe 20, with wild, dark hair plastered to her sweaty forehead. Her eyes, wide and unfocused, were the color of bruised plums. He recognized the vacant glaze, the desperate need masked by forced gaiety. She was one of them.
Sorry.
She slurred, her voice a shaky whisper.
Lost my friend.
He didn't care about her friend. He just wanted her to move so he could sink deeper into the void.
Just be careful,
he mumbled, pushing her gently away, but she didn't move. Instead, she looked at him, really looked, and a flicker of recognition ignited in those bruised eyes. It wasn't romantic, not even remotely. It was a shared understanding, a silent acknowledgement of the shared prison they inhabited.
You too,
she said, and her voice held a surprising strength. That was Lila. He learned her name later, after he found her slumped in a bathroom stall, close to overdosing. He'd panicked, the haze momentarily lifting. He'd slapped her face, managed to get her some water, and stayed with her until the color slowly returned to her cheeks. That night, something shifted. Seeing her so close to the edge had shaken him. He saw his own reflection in her near lifeless eyes, and it terrified him.
I'm done,
he said to her, the words a fragile, untested promise.
I can't do this anymore.
Lila, still shaky, just looked at him.
Me neither,
she whispered. The first few days were hell. Withdrawal was a monster, clawing at them, demanding its due. They clung to each other, a desperate lifeline in the storm. They detoxed together, cold turkey, in Leo's squalid apartment. There were tears, screaming, and moments where either of them could have easily succumbed. But they didn't. They had each other. They started going to meetings, not an AA, finding solace in the shared struggles of others. They took walks, ate actual food, and rediscovered the simple pleasure of breathing clean air. It was slow, agonizingly slow, but they were moving forward, inch by inch. One day, Lila, who had always possessed a sharp wit and a knack for organization, suggested they start a cleaning business. In his chest,
Think about
but now it was the rhythm
she
of a
said,
life restored,
her eyes bright
with a new kind of power of second chances, and the enduring strength of human connection. They had found each other in the darkness, and together, they had carved a path towards the light. They were clean, they were successful, and they were finally, who had always been good with his hands, readily agreed. He learned about eco-friendly cleaning products, researched business plans, and even practiced his customer service skills.
Second chance cleaning,
Lila announced one evening, holding up a hand-drawn logo.
That's what we'll call it.
It wasn't easy. They faced skepticism, judgment, and more than a few setbacks. But they were persistent. They were reliable. And they were honest. They cleaned houses, apartments, and even small businesses. They offered a service that went beyond just wiping down surfaces. They offered empathy, understanding, and a glimmer of hope. Word spread. People appreciated their dedication, their attention to detail, and the fact that they genuinely cared. Second chance cleaning thrived. They hired other recovering addicts, giving them a chance to rebuild their lives, just as they had been given. Years later, Leo stood beside Lila at the grand opening of their second branch. The fluorescent lights of the club were a distant, horrifying memory. He looked at Lila, her face radiant, her eyes clear and full of life. He remembered the desperate girls slumped in the bathroom stall, and the man, equally lost, who had found her. He squeezed her hand.
We made it,
he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Lila smiled, her grip tightening.
We did,
she said.
Together.
Subscribe to see more stories.